Hey everyone, this is the LEGO creator Gingerbread House. Let me go ahead and take you through a quick tour of all the major points of interest here, and then for folks who are interested, I'll come back and spend more quality time on the details and sharing my personal thoughts. When you start building this set per the instructions, you spend a lot of time with all these little accessories. Let me take those out of the picture to start with and focus on the main gingerbread house itself. It is not particularly large, with the official dimensions being 8 inches tall, 8.5 inches wide, or 21 by 22 centimeters. So a creator expert modular building like the recent corner garage absolutely towers over it. There are 3 stickers in the set, and you're looking at 2 of them right now, with the sign on the candy canes over here, and then also the welcome mat down by the main front door, and that is just it. That's your primary entrance into the place. And there's a wreath up above. This is an interesting indoor-outdoor fireplace or fire pit, so you can warm things up on the outside if you are hanging out there, or you can just use it as a regular fireplace on the inside. We'll take a look at the interior, but I do want you to see that there is light that can appear in there to light up the fire itself. There's a little bit of outdoor furniture with a couple of chairs and a table there, most likely used more in the warmer months of the year. And then most of the structure here kind of goes back and forth between looking like pure candy and confections and looking a little bit realistic. So you can choose for yourself whether you want this to be a minifig scaled actual building, or you want it to represent a Lego version of an actual gingerbread house, just a model that would be edible in this actual size in real life. Here's the other side, which has very similar detailing and minimal gaps. Everything is sealed up pretty well, and it looks very finished. Also notice quite a bit of use of glitter-filled or glitter-adorned bricks, with the pink and purple ones for the windows. Even the innermost sections of the roof that are partially obscured by the chimney are fully detailed for consistency. Around back, the house is completely open and completely detailed on the inside. You even have a fully tiled floor, at least on the ground floor. Again, furniture, details on the wall. There's the other side of the fireplace with even a couple of little plate and tile built stockings that are hanging from underneath the mantle. They're not even attached directly to the wall, so they are hung properly and realistically there. A couple candles on the mantle itself. There's the third of 3 stickers in the set for the family portrait up there. When you walk in the front door, there's a little space off to the side where you can hang a couple of coats, it looks like, a couple of coat hangers. And then this is the kitchen over on this side, which again has, a pretty fair amount of detail for the amount of space that is available for it. And there you can also see the full windows, which do let a fair amount of light in, and the glittering is supposed to represent sugar crystals. Upstairs, here's the bedroom, which has a new color of tan for the ingots that represent a wafer with breakaway sections that you could eat individually. Notice that the lampshade appears to be made from cotton candy. That's a small little crib off to the side for a child, complete with a place mat or rug underneath. And then this is the bathroom. Looks like there's a suggestion of separation between the two, though there's no actual door, between the 2 rooms. And then there's a fully built up tub with rounded sides and a toilet off to the side. And there's what the whole thing looks like around the back with the figures for scale. Set comes with a gingerbread man, woman, and child. The child is nothing but a printed 1x2 tile, which is new and will probably remain exclusive to this set. It's unfortunate that they weren't able to do something nicer than that. I'm assuming they just ran out of parts budget for this set, and they weren't able to do something, more 3-dimensional. Notice that this is an interflavor couple, with the 2 different colors of fillings for the heads. These are proper regular minifigures, so they can move just like regular ones do, including rotating the heads around. They have just a large enough hole in the base of the head to make that all regular, and the torso prints are the same between the 2 big ones. And finally, let's have a look at all the little things. This is a very nice snowblower here. I just like the build of it, and it is compatible with the size of any regular minifigure who can hold on to the handles there. You can see some snow blowing out the side, again with the candy theme wherever reasonably possible. And you got just the small gears in there to give you a little extra realistic detail. This is one of the nicer things here as an extra build, a baby carriage, which again is about the right size. Again, has a candy and sweets theme, and it is able to hold on to the 1x2 tile that is a baby here. You get a bunch of buildable, just regular presents. These are not able to be opened, but they're trying different things with different styles for how to depict presents that are boxed up. The Christmas tree is a slightly different build from before. They always try to change up their Christmas tree builds just a little bit, and this has plate-based building around the sides. The thing that's truly unique and new for this one in its design is how they did the star at the top. Those are not very common pieces. They've been used before with prints to represent special collectibles with powers from a previous theme, but here they have no prints whatsoever, just done in a trans yellow color, which I think is pretty fantastic. It looks pretty perfect to me. It doesn't look great around the back, but not bad. But yeah, just a very nice, very charming, very positive and bright looking thing. And then you have some more gifts and toys, things for kids to play with. Got the seesaw here, which can have the 1x2 tile attached to it. So you have the sleeping baby on this. It doesn't really work with minifigures. Got a little toy truck here, like a tanker truck, and kind of a not the smallest of scale of toy train, but a little bit larger. And here the tender is just large enough to fit a 1x2 tile back in it. So the kid can also take a ride in this. This is not articulated, doesn't have rolling wheels or anything, but you still definitely get the idea of what it's supposed to be. So the house is a bit smaller than I personally expected once it's all completed, but I have to tell you, as you go through the process of building this, there's a lot of purpose put into almost every single piece. This does have a lot of small pieces, so when we look at the price to part ratio at the end, it's going to look pretty fantastic, but it's not a good indication of the volume of stuff that's here in the completed product. But, sometimes when you put a whole lot of little pieces together in a Lego set, they don't always add up to all that much, with a lot of stuff being used for just basic construction of walls and things or rocky terrain. But in this case, I really felt like as I was building this, there was a lot of purpose put into truly every single piece. I didn't feel like there was any waste involved here. And when you're done, you basically just have to appreciate this for its size. Now, it's not tiny by any means. And, my comment about size was possibly just my own bias in advance. But, all of the sideways construction that's used to bring in some of the white color as the filling in between the different layers is very good. All the small details for the sprinkles and the swirls that were added on. Something that I particularly really like on this model is how the tops of the roofs were connected, where they come together. So this just has a pin. This is all Technic-based construction for the connection between the two halves there when they come together. They're hinged from the base and then where they come together. So let me go ahead and turn this around so you can see a better example of how that's actually done. There is a hinge, and there are more of them that go across. And then as this all comes together, again, just Technic-based construction, but it creates this very nice, smooth peak. And that exact same technique is used for each roof section, regardless of direction of attachment. I also really appreciate how this truly looks like it's properly layered, where you've got the gingerbread just in the center, and you've got the nice, they call it royal icing, that's being used as the glaze, as a little bit of decoration, and also of course to create the connections, as the glue to hold the whole thing together. These could easily have been attached with rectangular, regular plates, but they use the newer rounded plates, so it looks like this top part right here is just part of the construction of the entire cane there, the entire candy cane, but it's actually attached into the building. So surprisingly, this is actually pretty durable. The whole thing is pretty dang sturdy. It's much sturdier than I expected, to be sure. I'm not really worried about any small pieces falling off or anything coming apart. The different sections of the roof are held together very tightly. Even the stuff off to the side, like these, are deeply embedded in there for the lamps outside. Only 3 stickers, so I really can't complain about that. I don't think many people can complain about the sticker use in this at all. And even the candy canes out here are attached securely with the ratcheting attachments at the base that will even hold their angle as you move this around. And if you get it offset, it's not like with the normal clip and bar construction, where if you move things off a little bit, then you need to very carefully, put them just back to the right spot. You just click them out and there you go. There's enough room to open up the door, so if you want to pose figures inside, kind of going in or coming out, you can. The edges around the windows are done so nicely, again, with some studs on the side construction used to good effect, not just for the sake of doing studs on the side construction, but specifically to get the shapes that were desired there. You have the partial extensions with the modified 1x2 green plates right here to give a little bit of extra edge and ledge underneath. The ledge is done with the tile piece that sticks out there. There are just so many good details. I really feel like everything was done to accomplish something. None of this feels like filler, ironically, to me, as a model is concerned. The biggest, most significant criticism that I think I can give to this set is that there's dramatic inconsistency between the level of detail for the ground floor and the upper floor, because this is all studded here, but down here it's all tiled. Also, with the tiled space, you only have one stud that's available there, one single lone stud to place a figure there securely. So if you place a figure anywhere else, it'll just slide around. So if you want to move this, then the figures will slide or most likely fall over. Whereas up top, you have mostly the studded surface where you can definitely attach figures anywhere, but it's a little bit more difficult to attach them diagonally without having one leg up and one leg down. And yeah, there's just that inconsistency. That's the worst thing that I can say about this entire set, really. Second worst thing is definitely that 1x2 tile used for the gingerbread baby. I wish that had been done with a papoose piece instead, since they already have that. Just needed the right color and a new print. Looking at the leftover spare pieces says a lot, because Lego's general rule is to include one extra of every 1x1 plate or tile or other very small piece for each bag that is used in the construction process. So this represents a lot of different bags that were opened with a lot of very, very small pieces. And that says a lot about the overall construction and the distribution of pieces and their sizes. So when we look at the price of $100 US compared to the almost 1,500 pieces that are included here, it looks fantastic on paper. Not quite as good in person, but as I had mentioned earlier and hopefully showed you, every single little piece that's used here is really done, is placed for a reason. And I feel like you can enjoy more of the tiny pieces in this than you can in most sets that do have a lot of tiny pieces. They are basically fighting above their weight class or their size class in essentially all cases here. I can't remember any small part that went into the build of this that felt like, oh, I'm going to completely forget about that, or that really wasn't necessary. So overall, I definitely feel like if you actually build this yourself, you're going to get your money's worth from it. If you don't build it yourself, somebody else in your family builds it, or you visit someone who has it or something, and you spend some quality time looking at it and really appreciating all of its details from the different angles, I think you'll get their money's worth out of it. I personally didn't enjoy putting all the little stuff together first. Just when building this, I wanted to get to the house, but knowing that now, I can just skip forward. And knowing that now, if you want to get to the house first, I do recommend it. It'll It might have a better psychological effect for you of, really getting to the meat and potatoes, and then just finish off with all the little details, because all this stuff really did take a fair amount of time. But overall, this is a well done set, and I congratulate the designer on a resounding success. If you want to get a good feel in advance of how this set went together, I have the real-time pure build video, which is available right now, and also a sped up speed build version if you don't have that much time to just throw something on in the background and listen to the sounds of parts clicking together. So check out one of those build videos if you like. I will link to them on the end screen right now, and I'll talk to you again soon. Thanks for watching.